The pandemic has pushed people to visit more national parks because it's a safe way to be socially distant. While some people are only visitors, Nikki Johnson spoke to one of the full-time residents of our very own Theodore Roosevelt National Park in Medora.
Wendy Ross is no stranger to national parks. In fact, she was born and raised in the Park Service.
My father was a climbing ranger, and so we moved all over the place. Very similar to a military brat. I was a National Park Service brat.
From 1990 to 1995, Ross's father was superintendent of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. After college, time in the Peace Corps, and a few other management jobs, the park pulled Wendy back in.
I can't live anywhere ugly. That's my joke.
She became superintendent in 2014, and while she's surrounded by beauty, she says presently a typical day is pretty casual.
I do a lot of paperwork. I do a lot of human resources, interactions with staff. We have quite a bit of external issues that I am constantly engaged with.
Updating roads and pieces of history tied to Theodore Roosevelt. History says after a personal tragedy, the would-be president came to Western North Dakota to seek solace. And so did Wendy.
I had a boyfriend break up with me. I was heartbroken in 1990 when my father got this job. I drove with my mother across the plains of the central part of the United States, and then I hit the edge of the Badlands at Painted Canyon, and my jaw dropped, and I fell in love with the Badlands of North Dakota.
And even today, the effect isn't lost on her.
How could anybody hit those Badlands and not fall in love? So that's why I'm here. I was heartbroken for a good year, and I was suicidal. And the Badlands here in Theodore Roosevelt National Park healed my heart and my soul, and they still continue to do that today.
Reporting in Medora for KX News, I'm Nikki Johnson.
Ross is one of only 40% of women working in the National Park Service, and she tells us there's been quite an increase of visitors at the park. On Saturday alone last week, Ross says there were 1,800 people at the visitor center.